Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Corey and Kevin Talk About Nothing. If you're tuning in for the first time,
I'm Corey.
I'm Kevin, and welcome to our podcast talk show.
Hello.
Number 105.
Yeah, it's a big old 105.
It's crazy to be in the hundreds, man.
It is, man.
It's like when we're
weird.
editing the videos, and I'm like, wow, 104?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had the one extra key now, dude.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
We're in triple digits territory
Yes.
right now.
Whoa.
You know? That's big. That's big stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That represents for how long we've been around.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
That's insane, man.
I'm gonna be honest. It seems like the audio podcasters are out there really soaking it up. So
Yep.
we're excited and we're here for it.
Yes.
We watched a movie that
Was it
we had
good?
previously talked that we wanted to watch it, so we finally watched it. It's called
Yep.
The Power of the Dog with Benedict Cumberbatch, Jesse Plemons, and Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, because, yes.
I almost blinked, but I knew better.
Yes.
And we'll get to that. We'll get to that a little
Yeah.
later, but that is the movie that we did watch for this week. No Christmas movies this time.
No.
Just here for the 1925 pretty deep drama. Very cinematic. Very cinematic. Anyways.
Good. Well, oh, yes. So.
Yeah, right.
Yes. So,
We can't
I
talk
mean-
about It's Always Sunny.
what?
We can't talk about It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
We didn't watch it.
That makes me really upset.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I looked at her today. I looked at Jessica. I looked at her, you know?
Yes.
I looked at Jessica and I was like, we totally forgot we had It's Always Sunny. But we'll get to it. I'm sorry. Were
really
they good?
upset. Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, they were. I mean, it had its moments. It had its downs and its ups and
One or two?
deuce. I think there's probably gonna be two every single time. I think probably for the whole season. I'm guessing. I mean, that's the only way I can think about it. Like I said, I'm not kidding when I say that we might get a lot of episodes this season or something. That
Somebody-
or a short. I don't understand.
Somebody had tweeted, and I am going to go ahead and disagree with this tweet, but I did like the response. They tweeted out to, I think it was Glenn Howerton and Rob McElhenney, and they said, "Are you guys aiming to have the best season yet at season 15?" And they're like, "That's what we're aiming for." And I'm like, "That's a great aim." There's just like so many iconic seasons of Sunny that I don't think we'll ever get there again.
No.
And that's okay. That's
Well, absolutely.
100% okay.
Yes.
But I was like best yet. I'm like, man, I don't think we're even there yet. You know, I mean, we've had
Are
some
you saying
funny
Dennis
stuff,
peaked?
but yeah,
Saying-
I am not peaked.
yes.
That man's a golden god.
I am the golden
Yeah, he's a golden god, man. This
I
isn't
have just begun to peak.
this isn't a starter car. This is a finisher. Don't
I'm gonna
piss
get me
him
a hot
off.
ride with me and a babe. Me and a babe. We're gonna go cruising.
Oh man,
Dude,
yeah.
I've been watching a
so
lot.
sorry that we haven't watched it, but
No, it's okay. I mean, don't be wrong. Like, it's not. Okay, so I'm just gonna say the second one. The second one, there's like a. Okay, so there's not much of a storyline with It's Always Sunny, but there's like certain parts that are storylines, right?
okay.
And this one has an interesting part on the storyline. I'll just say it that way. Like, I have to still process this. Because I'm only watch it once. I have not. I have to say I did not watch it twice. I
Oh,
did
okay,
not,
yeah.
I had an eventful weekend, so I didn't have time to watch it twice. But I did watch it. I did watch both episodes once. And the second one was kind of like, it was almost like more of like a, I don't know. It wasn't. It's still. Don't get me wrong. It's got its parts. It's still Sunny. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But there's still a big but there. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
I think it'll take some time for like that. It's like you peaked, and I still enjoy the content, but like it's taken a little bit for me to like get there, you know.
Oh,
Where I'm like,
absolutely. 100%.
oh, this is absolutely hilarious, and I'm like, there are
Yeah.
moments that are absolutely hilarious, but like, have you seen seasons 1 through like 7, 1 through 8? Like, come on.
I mean, there's like very little. There's episodes that aren't the best, but there are some of the best content through through it.
It's almost like get rid of their budget. Let them have like $5 or something, because I feel like that's when they make the best It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yes, and it's funny because if somebody ever asked me, if somebody came up to me and we started talking about It's Always Sunny and saying they've never started it, they haven't watched it, they haven't done anything like that, do you know what I would tell them? To start at season, because I mean, one, to me as being a huge Sunny's fan, I think is awesome. I think it's hilarious. It introduces all the characters very well.
I was gonna say, to be honest, it makes me laugh hard. But so yeah, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
And then I think that they did it very well with introducing like Frank.
Oh okay? Yeah.
So when I went back to just, if I go back now and watch it, to me it's a totally different. It's like a totally different way of looking at it. When you first start out, I think that starting out at season 2 to where you're getting the full gang involved, I think is really, really, because like if you think about it now, man,
I'm a completionist, man. I'm a completionist. You can't just say, "Oh, I'll start with."
But there's no context to the season 1, really.
Plenty of context.
There's not. But anyways,
there's plenty of content. How about that?
The content
you can't just start at season 2. you can't.
Okay, listen. If you guys really want to enjoy it, because you'll go back and watch season 1.
All right, guys. If you really want to enjoy it, I promise you, go to season 1 and you'll be so happy you did. You'll see the evolution of the gang when they introduce Frank. Get out of town.
Well, never mind. I won't. Never mind.
Get out of town.
Season 15. I think you're finding out either more information, or false information, or the truth. You know, maybe this is the truth. Maybe all this other stories and everything else.
Yeah.
Was hoopla.
Maybe they're just resetting the canon. Maybe they're just creating a new past to pay for a new future.
True.
Season 30 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You know, hey, remember that episode where, you know what's funny is like, you know, we can't talk about the 2 episodes that were on, but we can't still just talk about It's Always Sunny.
Oh, it is absolutely.
But it kind of, for some reason, it just reminded me of like when Mac and Charlie's mom are living together and Dennis figures out to like put all the cameras up and make a TV show, putting laugh tracks in with everything.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's so good.
Dee getting her head stuck. They're adding farts in and all that stuff. Man, that's so good.
I think it's another way too that they brought in the characters perfectly for that entire situation too. Like if you think about it, Frank and Artemis could have been having an adventure in Wendy's bathroom. You know what I mean?
Or the dumpster.
Exactly. You didn't have to have him involved, but you did, and it was perfect. It's like the whole thing was just perfect because even Frank was involved by going over there to be the neighbor or something, right? You know what I mean? That comes over, has fun, you know. So
everybody
it's so funny.
It's so funny. Everybody wants their like 15 minutes. They want to be like.
Yep.
Like Dennis has this stupid closed circuit. It's not going out anywhere. Dennis is just watching it. It's for his enjoyment, and they have to be on the show. Like they have to find their way on the show and be funny. You know? Nobody else is watching it, but they have to.
Yep.
They're so funny. Yeah. You know, on a side note, I've watched something 4 days in a row, and this was just pure like. After the second time I watched it, it was pure speculation or like almost like a hypothesis of, could this possibly make me laugh to tears again a third time? And when it happened, I said, we're going to see if it'll happen a fourth time. Now, I didn't break the fourth time. I wanted to, but I think that. Yeah, Friday was the last day, so Saturday was a no-go. I just didn't watch it, but okay. So I'm gonna clue you guys in on all this. If you want to laugh and just have tears come out of your eyes, all right. So it's from I Think You Should Leave, season 2. It's Karl Havoc. It's when he dresses up in the prank costume, and he goes kind of like it's like an Impractical Jokers thing where he's like. He's dressed up like nobody would ever do hair and makeup the way they do to this guy, right? Karl Havoc. And when he gets there, he won't do anything because he's like, we did way too much, and he's like, I want to rip the head off, he's saying all these crazy things, but I'm pretty sure that they I feel like they really did do this in public, because like some of these reactions were just like this guy. You see what I'm saying?
There it is. I was just looking it up too. Oh yeah, it's so fun.
So
it's so funny.
So season one of I Think You Should Leave had like two meme moments, like where like two big memes came out of it. Yeah. There's the guy in the hot dog costume where like he smashes his hot dog car into the clothing store, and he's wearing the hot dog costume, and they're trying to figure out who drove the hot dog car into there. And he's like, why would you think I did it? You're dressed like a hot dog. No, that guy is dressed like a hot dog. Anyways, so that one, and then I don't know if you remember, but there's like that old guy. They're having like a board meeting of what would be cool in a car, like what could help people with cars, and the guy was like, a car that's not stinky, and they're like, okay, and he's got like an accent and everything, and he's like an older guy, and he's saying some wacky stuff, but he winds up like he flips over the bottle, like he does the bottle trick where it lands up, and he's like, you have to tell your mom you love her or something, or you have to marry your mom if I do that, and he lands it. It's like, you have to marry your mom. Anyways, well, that old guy was a meme as well, but now this Karl Havoc is the new meme from season 2.
Oh, that's funny because it came up.
He's like,
Google searched it too.
Oh yeah, he's like standing there, and at the end of the skit, he's like, I don't even want to be around anymore. And the guy's like so confused, like, what? You mean like you being in that suit makes you not want to be around anymore? He's like, yeah, I don't want to be around anymore. It's like, are you saying like what is happening in that suit?
What
is
going on?
I kid you not. I had watched it on YouTube, and I was crying laughing so hard. I've watched this skit already 2 times a while ago, but I was like, I just rewatched it. And for some reason, I started just dying, laughing, crying. So then I watched it a second time the next day. And I like tears in my eyes. I'm laughing so hard. It's like a 5 inhaler out of a 5 inhaler moment. And so then like, day 3, I'm like, you start off and you're like, you want to laugh, but you're like, well, am I just laughing to laugh now? So like I'm sitting there. And by the end of it, I have tears in my eyes. I'm laughing so hard. And then day 4. So if you want something that's just outright hilarious, just watch Karl Havoc, man. When he's like, I want to rip the chin off, it kills. The guy in there is like, the chin kills. He's like, yeah, it actually does, Craig. It kills. And then he's like, go kick that guy's chair. He's like, shut the F up. It's just because like it's Tim Robinson dressed up, and he's not only funny with like how he talks, but he's animated as well. So all that animation in this fake looking guy just has me laughing so hard, man.
That's all. I remember laughing at that part.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember a lot. I mean, I don't remember a lot about it. But
that one, and then Detective Crashmore. I've watched Detective Crashmore a few times, and he makes me laugh too, because it's Santa Claus, who's now an actor. And he's going through and he's just shooting everybody. He's like, I don't give a shit if I die. He's like going to all these dangerous situations, blasting, getting blood sprayed all over his face. And he's doing like this TV interview for his movie. And they're like, you may know him from, giving gifts around Christmas time. And he stands up. He's like, why are you doing that? I told him not to bring up Christmas. I told him not to talk about Christmas. And at one point, awesome. he's like, how was that nudity scene? And he was like, well, the script called for it. It's part of Detective Crashmore's journey or whatever. And he's like, who cares? I've seen everyone's cock. And he's like, you've seen everyone's cock? He's like, yeah, I've seen everyone naked. And it's like, it's Santa Claus. He sees you no matter what. It's like, damn. Yeah. It's one of the funniest skits in the world, man. And
I'm about to go back and watch some of that, because I remember the other guy, Havoc, more, but I don't remember.
Detective Crashmore, man. Santa Claus is some like like John Wick, going in. He gets like this huge gun out of the truck. He's like, "Oh, I love that gun. You knew I'd love that gun," and he's like just holding this huge gun. So funny, dude. It's like
it's funny because like I just knowing the show, I can picture him and the way he acts.
Oh no,
like
this is like a different guy. This is like an old actor guy playing as Santa Claus. Oh yeah.
Gotcha. I thought it was okay.
Oh yeah,
okay.
this one's not Tim Robinson. This one's like all on its own, Detective Crashmore, dude. Oh my god.
Okay.
I'll just be sitting down here, and I'll just send a gift to Jessica of either Havoc or Crashmore, because I'm like either watching Havoc or Crashmore, and she knows I'm just dying laughing down here. Awesome. So thank you, Tim Robinson. I can't thank you enough. Some of these skits, I have just literally had so many tears in my eyes. I want season 3 so bad. So thank you for I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson.
The first episode still gets me every single time. So the episode,
like the interview one.
I know it's. No. There was with the door opening.
Yeah.
Don't be wrong. There's a lot to it, but yes, that.
Yeah.
He's like.
Oh no, I was here earlier.
I seen this open earlier.
It goes both ways. I was here early. It goes both ways. The guy's like, okay. It's like the friggin' hinge breaks off, snaps off. See, I told you.
Yeah. I don't know why that gets me so much, but that is like that right there, and just the determination of like he cannot be wrong in this situation. So he has to prove.
Yeah, he cannot look like a fool and be like, "Oops, sorry,
Yeah.
I went the wrong way." No.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So that makes me like just thinking about his scene, because doesn't he even break his fingernails? Like
I don't know. He's like spitting, like there's like drool coming down his face. Like, oh, dude, come on.
So I have to go back and rewatch all of it. But
he creates like a vacuum device that goes over your face in case you're choking on a hot dog. In case the rare case you're choking on a hot dog, because he got fired from a job for that happened to him. Yeah, it was 2 years later, but nobody could stand looking at him without laughing because they couldn't stop thinking about him choking on a full hot dog. It's so weird. Like, they pull the hot dog out and he pukes on somebody's backpack. And he's like, whose backpack is that? And they're like, I think that's mine. He's like, I almost tripped on that. And then he's like sticking his foot in the puke, wiping it around. And it's just like so gross, man. That one, and then the board meeting where he sits on the whoopee cushion in season 1. And he's like, what's the joke? That I farted and nobody barfed? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, I think we would know what would happen if I farted. You'd puke up your pretty little lunch. He's like fucking crazy. And then all of a sudden he's like, permission to go home, lie down, watch some TV before my family photo so I'm not beat red. I was like, yeah, go right ahead. What is that pink bag on my chair? What are you gonna put a slip of meatball down my pants, make it look like my testicles busted open? I lost a testicle. What are you gonna put cake batter on my pants, make it look like I come all over my pants?
It's so funny. I can picture that, and then the pooper seat.
Oh yeah, dude. You used too small. You made a mud pie and you used too small a slice.
That's all I can think about.
Look what happened to your friends. It's so twisted. And then he just dies in the car at the end.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, like, just the part of, see, once again, that's just Tim Robbins making me laugh. Just like, because, you see, to me, Tim Robbins is the same way Jim Carrey acts. They're very...
Oh yeah,
like,
they're eccentric. They're
exactly.
very animated. Yep,
So with that's why I love Jim Carrey as much as I do, because he could just stand there and say something stupid, but it's the way his
it's how it's done
back,
is
how about
absolutely
he
hilarious.
his head? Yeah, smashing his head into a toilet seat, saying, "I'm kicking my own ass. Do
you mind?"
Yes, I'm telling you, that part will be my favorite part he ever states in his entire life, because that is just hilarious. But it's his face that made me laugh so hard too.
Right.
Do you mind? You're right. I'm just saying it's just Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
Like, that is it, dude. But
it's Tim Robinson. I just don't want you getting carried away saying Tim Robbins. Total different guy. That's Shawshank.
Sorry, Tim Robinson. Yes, Tim Robinson. Sorry.
You're like, Tim Robbins just makes me laugh. And yeah, there are some movies he definitely makes me laugh.
Yeah. But Tim Robinson way more.
Oh, yeah, dude, for sure, man. And then we've been using the sloppy steaks one out in a bit for sure, dude. That's just what if you know, you know, you know.
Yeah,
I used to be a real piece of shit with the slick back hair, white Ferrari, white couch, glass house.
It's so funny. I used it over the weekend. I just want you to know that.
Awesome. Awesome.
I said it twice. But one person had no idea who I was talking about, and then I said it to our buddy that I went down with.
That's awesome.
He laughed.
Yeah.
I don't know if he truly knows. What
right. He's
from,
like, okay.
He still laughed. That's all I care about, you know.
You know, when I order a steak, there's nothing from stopping me from ordering a glass of water with a medium rare steak.
Sloppy steaks.
Oh, you never had sloppy steaks? Let him hold the baby.
Yeah.
I used to be a real piece of shit too. Like who writes these skits? Like they're just
that's what I want to
funny,
know.
Like, it's incredible.
Seriously, yeah. Is it Tim Robinson?
Well, yeah.
Does he actually write it? Okay. That's what I thought.
I saw on a he was on a talk show, and he basically was saying that he had used a few rejected SNL skits because he was like a not part of the main cast of Saturday Night Live, but he was a fill-in and he was a writer. So he is in like a whole bunch of episodes just because like he's like a character that comes in.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I think he's in his prime. I think with Netflix, he can just do his own thing. It's not a major cable network. It's not Lorne Michaels. It's his show. It's Netflix. So like he can really just do. I mean, no skit is connected to the next one. I'll tell you that one because like they're all over the place.
They are. Yeah, that's one thing I think. Spida, if you listen to this, watch it.
Has he not watched it?
I don't think he has. I was just thinking about like who have I not told this about, and I think listen. Watch it.
So that
good.
That really reminds me of a TV show. Oh, Jackson's so tired. He's a big yawn. The Wonder Chosen. It was a 2-season show on MTV2. I don't even know if does MTV2 even exist anymore? Is it just like MTV and MTV? But that is MTV2, MTV. But it was
not just MTV.
So you have do you remember the Andy Milonakis show?
Oh yeah.
All right. So there were 2 seasons of the Andy Milonakis show, and then there were 2 seasons of this Wonder Chosen, and it was this crazy. It was like a child's show on acid. Like the puppets were all friggin' mangled and nasty and gnarly. There were like a lot of messed up skits. And it was absolutely hilarious. I mean, it was some of the funniest stuff that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's random. It's
I don't remember. Did you show me this show before?
Oh, I very well. I mean, it's one of those things where like if I'm probably meeting somebody for the first time, I'm gonna gauge on if I'm gonna like you if you've watched it or not. No, I'm just kidding. But that's probably one of my nervous ticks. Is, have you seen Wonder Chosen?
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's not Salad Fingers, is it?
No. Salad Fingers is different. Okay. All right. And if anybody's ever seen Salad Fingers, please hit us up on Twitter. That stuff got creepy. It was funny, and then it got creepy.
Absolutely.
Hubert Cumberdale,
Kevin won.
You taste like soot and poo. That stuff haunts my memories. Like when the kid, did you watch any of the Salad Fingers?
Yeah. Actually, you guys showed it to me.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
When he's cooking the fish, but it's too far in the oven, and the little kid goes in and he forgets about the door, and the kid's trapped in there. Like this is a twisted cartoon.
It was. That's what I'm saying. It was actually a very dark cartoon.
Yeah. But no, Wonder Chosen was totally different. It was like they had a kid who would like, it was called Kids on the Street, Kids on the Beat Kids. And it was like this thing where like a kid reporter would be on the beat, and would go out there in the streets and interview adults wearing horrible costumes and asking horrible questions.
Okay.
God blew up. They killed God in an episode, and he turned into a bucket of fried chicken and everything. Like they were eating God at the end of the episode. Like it was so weird.
Wow.
Like there's
Yeah.
so many messed up things, but one thing that's always stuck is Lord Cromwell, and there's also, if I ever hear the name Tyler, which I always hear because whatever, but there's this kid on the TV show, and it's like almost like a commercial where it's like, I'm Tyler. I'm a good kid. I wash my hands. And then in like a follow-up episode, like he's like, I'm Tyler. I touch a football. I wash my hands. I wash my hands. I wash my hands. I touch this. I wash my hands. Like, I'm a good kid. I'm Tyler. It's like the weirdest shit. Today, the letter M, it's for Mexico. Like the whole episode is like brought to you by Mexico. Like it was wild and trippy, man. It was gone too soon. It was amazing. Really, what really makes me sad too is it's really sad. I loaned it out, and
What?
never got it back. And then years later, we were given a CD or no, we were going through a box, and it had a stack of discs. And we found, I think, 3 or 4 discs out of 8 that were missing. So there's hope.
All right.
There's hope that they're out there somewhere, but they are scratched beyond belief. So one day I will rebuy them. But I have Andy Milanakis season 1 and 2.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, I will never lend out some of those things. They're worth their weight in gold.
Yeah. Yes. Well,
I got peas on my head, but don't call me a pea head. That dude got really into streaming, Like he's a big Twitch guy, and he does a lot of IRL Twitch. Yeah.
Oh wow.
He does like
I
he'll
didn't- I
go
really didn't know
like
that.
into other countries and just do IRL.
Gotcha. It makes sense though. I mean, that's what I mean. It just
He still like raps on the spot and stuff.
that's okay. So to say, because he seemed to be one of those guys that was probably very like on the spot comedy, on the spot. What do you call that?
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that's for sure, man.
Like improv, right? That's more
Yeah,
like kind
pretty
of
much.
improv-ish, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I remember from the Anna Milanakis show, and basically like who gave him the ability to get his own show was actually Jimmy Kimmel. So if you remember, Andy Milanakis was the kid on the Man Show. Do you remember the Man Show?
Yeah. Yep. I 100% I remember.
He was the kid because he wasn't
Yeah.
actually a kid. He was an adult, but he looks like a kid, right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
he was the kid on the Man Show, and he's had that relationship. Well, he wound up getting the Andy Milanakis show because of Jimmy Kimmel. But I love that show, and that show is also gone too soon. There's like a couple things that Jessica and I will still say that pops up from that show is like can opener, like, hey Andy, can I borrow your can opener? And there's a bunch of other ones like Wilby, don't use your powers for evil, and but the one that always comes to my mind is he has somebody deliver him like Chinese food or something,
Okay.
and they open the door and he's tied to a chair, and he asks to have them. There's like a jar of peanut butter with a knife, and he asks them to like slather peanut butter on his face. And people do it, man. People just do the strangest stuff. Like he's just sitting there in a chair, and they walk in, they put the food down, and he's like, "Please, please, please, it hurts. Can you put it on my face or whatever?" And they do. They put peanut butter on his face. It's so weird.
Wow.
Man. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I want to know how I would react. Like if the Impractical Jokers came up to me, I want to know how I would react. I hope I would have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty
I would
easygoing
go with it
guy.
as much as
so,
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, but it's almost like, but then if cameras are going and things like that. Like,
Well, yeah,
watch
but
a
if
couple
you do
skits.
know, but on Impractical Jokers, you wouldn't know. That's all like hidden camera stuff,
Well, yeah. But there's a lot of fans that know what they're doing.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying like that, right? So not.
Well,
not
yeah, I see what you're saying. I got you. I got you.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. No, I just watched one. Did you watch?
I've been watching a
on a
lot of
side
Impractical Jokers lately.
So
but
did you
yeah.
see the one where Murr had to take people's cigarettes out of their hand?
Oh,
do you remember that one?
dude, yeah.
Well,
that's,
so in that one, I literally just watched it. Okay, because I'm watching the ones that because I've watched all the seasons that are on there right now. So like now, like when I'm like if I'm playing games or doing something, that's just what I usually have it on the background.
Oh yeah,
okay?
for sure. It's just an
you know what I
easy
mean?
laugh. Yeah.
exactly in between games, I can literally join in the show and not care where they're at because it doesn't matter. I'm gonna laugh no matter what. Anyways, blah blah blah. So at the very end of that episode, this girl comes up and she actually mistakenly thinks that Murr is a friend that was coming into town. So when because she was like so
bonus footage or something.
Yes, it was.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
So then all of a sudden this girl turns around and she like looks at him. She goes, "You're supposed to call me when you got into town." And then Murr's like, "What? We're shooting right now." And she's like, "Wait, what?" And then she goes, "Wait, what?" And she's looking. She goes, "Oh my God, I know you. You're from that TV show. And where's the cameras, right?" Like, and then she's like, "Am I on TV?" Like, it's just so funny because she starts panicking. She goes, "Can I get a selfie?" It's just hilarious because like she just totally turned around. And went from like she thinking that you are somebody totally different to then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying like, so as soon as she found out it was Murr, that's my whole point to that was as soon as she found out it was Murr, she wouldn't know where the cameras were, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah, for sure. I do enjoy that when they have like that bonus footage of where like
dude,
you can see how excited they get with it, like, or even some of the people that are just so like they're like, are you from that show? And they're like, yeah. Thought I'd recognize you.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Say, there was one part too where they were doing it to where Murr actually told they were in a like a fast food restaurant. So when in the fast food restaurant, they had to compete. They had to compete to what, like they had to make each other laugh, right? So that's what they had to do. Okay. So anyway, so somebody stands up because Joe says something to Murr, and then Murr's supposed to respond back. The one fan gets up, okay. And then Murr's like, hey, just sit down. This is right in the middle of This is right in the middle. Like they showed all of this in the regular show.
Okay.
Tells the fan to hey, just sit down. The funny part is though, being a fan, she just once sat down. Right. It was super cool. You know what I mean? So like it's just one of those things that like once again it just shows.
They totally know. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, you guys are doing something.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
I don't want to ruin that.
It is weird that Joe's just yelling in the middle of this restaurant. You know what I'm saying?
Like if you're a fan of the show, I feel like even if you didn't recognize them right away, if you heard their voice, if you heard that they yelling and all that.
Oh,
stuff,
absolutely.
I agree.
Well, somebody acting wild in the middle of a grocery store, and you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like you really. Oh man. I've been watching a lot of that, but. Okay, so you're gonna be very excited about this, but I'm also a little bit upset about it.
Okay.
So I did start watching something. I started watching Succession. Okay.
Ooh.
And I started today. I didn't go. I didn't start all week. Like I said, I had a busy weekend, so I didn't really do much there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I did, and then what makes me so I did enjoy it so far. You know what I mean? You're already like, because the thing is too is like just talking to you about it. I already know some of the characters and some of the things.
Oh yeah, you're right. Right.
It's not like it's ruined anything, but I know about some of the things that are going on with it. Right.
Right.
So like that's all I'm saying with that. So like when Kendall finds out today, when Kendall finds out about his father not stepping down as anticipated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when he finds out about that and like his freak out moment in the bathroom. Dude. See,
yeah.
Yeah, and see, I remember I told you, I could have swore I watched season 1. Well, I definitely watched episode 1. And I remember, so I've already seen that episode, but at the same time, like there were certain parts I didn't remember, and you know what I mean. I should watch it. It's been so long, I should rewatch it anyways. Right? So I'm gonna start watching episode 2, and if the same thing happens, I might try to like speed run it a little bit, to do a little bit of it, just because I don't, you know what I mean.
I think they have like a previously on at the beginning of every episode too, so that should help out.
Beautiful, yeah. So I just want to know, you know what I mean? Because if I've already seen it, I don't want to waste my time. Like that's the whole thing. Not saying I'm gonna waste my time. I understand it's a good show, but
good because whoa, it's not.
I can't say it's a great show yet. As far as I know, I've watched
episode 1. I knew.
No, you didn't.
I knew from the previews. I said, Jessica, I want to watch this show. And she watched the previews. She's like, I want to watch this show. We watched that show. We're like, yep, that's it. That's Endgame, baby.
Yeah, so
it's really sad. This is like the first Sunday.
Yeah.
We haven't had it.
Sorry. I know. So just a couple comments. You're 100% right. That little kid at the softball game, I wanted to punch that guy in the face. I forget what his name is in the show. Yeah. I wanted to, like, when he wants to go give, when he wanted to give that kid $1 million for a home run. Yeah, little son of a, makes me angry.
Yeah, that's one of those like conflicting moments too with Logan, right? So he is a tough son of a gun, and who knows what kind of hell his own kids endured from him, but there are some other redeeming qualities, them giving them the NDA is that standard procedure, you don't want that getting out and your family looking like a bunch of rich a-holes, but also giving that watch. I mean, that's like, hey, that thing might cost a pretty penny. That might be college for you. You never know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was nice, but then it's like, yeah, these kids are from you, so, you obviously didn't do too good of a job.
No, not one bit.
There, you find out so much information about like what happened, like kind of like in the past, and it's all done through like dialogue. They don't do like flashbacks and stuff.
So
it's like really character driven, and man, it's just incredible. I thought that I love episode 1, man. When he finds out.
Mm-hmm.
When you're finished, I'm gonna tell you something that it made a lot of sense. I didn't realize it. I had read it, and it made a lot of sense to me afterwards, and it totally made sense. But when you're done with season 1,
okay, I'll probably put some hurt on it this week. So
good. It's impossible not to. All right.
I was definitely soaked in for. So, I mean, not much, man. That's about it. Like I said, I had that event this weekend. Threw a cornhole tournament. Did terrible. Don't want to talk about it, but it's fine. I went.
Don't want to talk about it. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Hey, you went. Yeah. You tried.
I tried. It's my first big one.
That's more than what most people do. You tried.
Yep, and I'll go back again. I'll do it again. So that's what I'm saying. So it's not terrible, but anyways, but yeah. So that was a good time. So I went down there, watched some pros throw, watched some sweet games in real life, real person. You know what I mean? It's totally weird to see these guys that you see on ESPN, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, that sounds like a fun sport. And then you go play, and oh, wait a minute, your very first big tournament, you're throwing 2 boards down from them. You're like, okay,
that's crazy. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. That's pressure on top of pressure.
Oh, for sure, absolutely, 100%.
Hey, wait,
so, you know what I mean?
I need to compete with them. Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, that's cool though. Like I said, I mean, you're out there, you're doing it, so just gotta keep on keeping on.
Yep, exactly. So
one of the great words of Frank the Tank: keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Be streets ahead. Pierce at you too.
Definitely be streets ahead, because you do not want to be streets behind.
So just saying.
Yeah.
But so Succession. That I know we don't have to talk about a bunch of Christmas stuff, but I did watch a bunch of Christmas stuff.
Oh, nice. We watched the majority of Bad Santa. We watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah, I watched that twice actually.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, this year it was super nostalgic for me. I don't know why. I watched it the first time. I felt like I half-ass watched it. You know what I mean? It just wasn't like a perfect watch for me. So I'm like, you know what? I've got another 2 hours free of me right now.
Why not?
Right back to back, exactly. But like, the next day I was like looking for a movie. I'm like, you know what? This is the one I'm throwing on. So that's why I did it again. So, I watched that one. Elf.
Oh yeah, we watched Elf too. That's right. Yep. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched Elf. The only one I have not watched because I couldn't find it. I didn't try that hard. Was Jim Carrey the Grinch. It's the only one I didn't like search
that one's usually on Netflix, I think. So
but see, I looked on Netflix. That's where I looked today, and it's not on there.
It wasn't on there.
So yeah, so like,
you know why his Scrooge is on there right now?
Gotcha. Well, yeah, but I mean, you can't have both.
I mean, you can. I was just saying, like, I was trying to think of which one I saw that was on there. And it's not sorry. So I phrased that real weird. Yeah. I was like,
yeah. So yeah,
you can't have the Grinch and Scrooge. Okay, that's too much evil. There's too much evil in this.
Yep.
In the
Jim Carrey's a clause.
Yeah, and then you have
one movie at a time.
And then they put Sonic on there. They're like, whoa.
Oh, mind blown.
Yeah, we've been watching some Christmas movies.
No.
The Christmas episode of Paw Patrol, of course.
Yeah, probably 5 times at least.
we've cycled through some, Netflix, maybe not so well known Christmas movies. Like one was like Angela's Christmas, and just was like just not really good. Then there was Elliot. Clementine got so bored with Elliot like 30 minutes in, but the only thing I really liked about it was there was like this Scottish reindeer or whatever, and his face was painted blue like Braveheart, and he talked like Braveheart and gave Braveheart speeches like straight out of the movie, but like pertaining to reindeer.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
I was like, this is amazing. Like I'm laughing so hard, but then like the movie was garbage anyways. So
Yeah.
maybe it was. I don't know. Clementine and I were both like not feeling it. We're like, nah, we'll pass it.
Gotcha. You gave it the old college try, so.
Yeah, we definitely want to watch Spider-Man though. Not a Christmas movie, but definitely want to watch Spider-Man.
Oh, that's definitely coming up as soon as possible.
No
to be honest
way.
with you.
Oh my.
Yeah. So I was going to say we could talk about it this week. Just saying.
Yeah, I would like to discuss
Yeah.
something to get that
Yeah.
on the books.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's.
It's about that time.
Hey, it's about that time, right? We talk about this movie. It's called The Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog.
It's a Netflix movie. It's streaming on Netflix. It's got Benedict Cumberbatch, which, man, just what a role for him. It was. I had seen something. I saw something that was like he enjoyed this role because it wasn't a people pleasing role. Like
At all.
right, man,
Yeah.
you were cold.
Yeah.
Anyways, Benedict Cumberbatch, Jesse Plemons, Kirsten Dunst, and I don't really know the rest of the players. There were other notable faces, but I wouldn't be able to. There's Bronco Henry.
Oh, of course. I was going to say, how could you forget?
Man, he kept like the whole time. He's like Bronco Henry this, Bronco Henry that. Like,
Everything.
bro, we get it. Bronco
Yes.
Henry was the best, man.
You love Bronco
Yeah.
Henry.
Like,
you
you-
love that man.
You love that man, and that's cool.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
But man, like it was so funny because it was like, Bronco Henry, like, oh, you and Bronco Henry. God, man. Sick of hearing what Bronco Henry would do, all right?
Yeah. What's your name? I want to know what you say.
Oh man.
Bronco Henry.
Yeah. Jesse Plemons is I love his acting. I mean, he can literally be a man of few words and convey everything he needs to. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, 100%. Like, see, at first he actually kind of annoyed me with his silence, to be honest with you.
he's
It
a
almost
simple
kinda-
man too, though. He's not
Yeah,
like
for sure, yeah.
clearly from the dinner party when they're like, "Oh, we were hoping the other brother with the conversation would, show up," and
Yes.
it's like, man, that's pretty messed up, and then you could tell he struggles and to like have conversation and whatnot, and
Yeah.
but him and his brother, they had some sort of falling out beforehand. You could just tell there was just so much disregard
Yes.
from George to Phil. It was kind of incredible. Like he would literally not answer, not look, just move on. And I kind of enjoy that. We're just glimpsing in. They started in 1900 and it's 1925. They've been doing it for 25 years. And there's got to be some sort of disgruntled past. There's got to be some sort of history that George is annoyed because it's not like Phil goes to beat him. It's not like Phil goes to bully him. I mean, he does use some pretty harsh words,
yeah.
and calling him an idiot and making fun of his weight and everything. But it was just like, it was almost like he knows he has screwed up somewhere on the line, and that's why he's getting that silent treatment. We just don't know. Like
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like this movie. I'm sorry. I will let you talk eventually.
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah.
We got another 25 minutes.
Yeah. No, restart the clock. I
Yeah.
got this. But this movie, there was at times a decent dialogue, but there was a lot of time with no dialogue, and it was like a movie where the actors could act. You could convey so much with a look, a sigh, the way a person moves. I mean, look at Kirsten Dunst. I mean, she had just a roller coaster of a personality throughout that movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, just seeing that was incredible. I mean, and I have to be honest, I was so thrown off because I feel like you're so focused on what is Phil gonna do that you miss a whole other side of the story where that everything was literally laid bare in front of you. Like, when it ended, I was like, Jessica, what fools we are.
Yes, we all missed it.
It is so funny.
I actually, just so you know, I had to go back and rewatch the ending again because I thought I missed something.
That's so
and then it made me think.
It
So
right.
that I had to think about it,
like,
right? Yes.
Now
yeah.
I get it. It was the cow, and that dude knew. But oh, dude, that was wild. That was wild. First of all, had no idea that could actually happen.
No.
Second of all, wear some gloves.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but he's Mr. Cowboy.
Mr. Cowboy. You don't wear gloves.
Yeah. Nope.
The workers are even like when he's cutting the bull's testicles off, they're like, dude, you're not wearing any gloves, like, and then he even cuts his hand, like.
Yeah, because hand there, then he cut his hand. Yeah, because I think this big cut was when he was moving the logs, right? When those two were moving the logs and they found the rabbit.
Yep.
Right. That's when he actually cut his hand pretty good. I'm pretty sure.
Oh. So many signs and so many. That literally the answer to the movie is right in front of you. It's so funny because we're watching this thing, and it was so funny because we had to pause the movie a few times. Okay. Yeah. You're a parent, so it's not always smooth sailing. I'm telling you, we probably paused this movie 4 or 5 times. I'm like, can we just finish this movie, please?
Yes, please.
So we finished it, and I'm like, is it because we paused a lot? I'm like. And then, like, as we're sitting there, we're thinking about this movie. We're like, holy crap. That kid was something else. It was wild. I was so impressed. This sleeper of a movie, this movie where, like, you're focused on what is in front of you, but you're not looking at any of the stuff in your peripheral. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah, it's crazy because... and the way they drove you to doing that whole entire thing too, to be 100% honest with you, I wasn't all that impressed with that part of the movie. But when you add in what the truth about it is...
Yeah, so you really liked
like,
as it wrapped up. Whoa. You liked, like, okay, this is where the substance is, almost like...
Yes.
So there was a point in the movie where I'm like, I like it. I like the acting in it, and everybody's doing a great job. Yeah, but I'm just not sure what's going on. Like, what are we watching?
Thank you.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
What 100%. Events are we watching? So I did see on like another review that was like, did I miss something? Did I not pay attention to something? And then it was like, nope, you're not alone. You were trying to focus on something. And that's just not where the story was, Now, we had read nothing about the movie. The only thing I had watched was a trailer, and that was it. So,
see, you talked about it, and I watched a trailer. Yeah. That's all I've heard about the movie at all throughout the entire time.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So I just had no...
Yeah, I feel like that was like such a slow burn. And I didn't even mind just because I like these actors a lot. They're all... grade A, top acting, A-list actors, and then the cinematic views and everything that's happening. Plus, it's 1925. You don't really get to see ranchers in the actual thick of it. I feel like we literally lived in the lives of these ranchers.
Well, yes. Yeah. So I actually put me. So like you said, Kirsten Dunst had a roller coaster character, right? I had a roller coaster of actually with the movie. I'm just not gonna lie. I had it to where at the very beginning it was good, like you're getting into the meat of things, and like you said, then to the middle, I was like, I'm not heading straight down, but I'm like getting like more. I'm like, man, what is going on though? Like, where is the next part of this gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like that was a weird part, and then it has chapters into it. Okay, so right, you know what I mean? Just how the movie goes. So I think it was like the 3rd or 4th chapter. I think it was the 4th chapter, and I'm like, I'm lost. I just don't get it. So my roller coaster, and then all of a sudden, and then when they started showing somebody that started drinking, okay? So when that started was like really finding out, and then like, okay, so like there's another storyline. I don't want to say too much about it.
I know, because like there's something that I want to bring up that I'm not sure, like, should we?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's hard because it's a brand new movie. So like you know what I mean. We could wait and say spoiler alert if you don't want to get the movie spoiled. Let's wait a little bit longer. Let's give her some true feelings here, and then we'll do it at the very end. Okay?
It's definitely a watch for me. But yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. So with that, so then it started bringing me back up a little bit, right? Because then to me, I'm starting to get to more of the meat of the potatoes that I thought was happening.
I felt like the drama definitely racked up with a person's drinking and the actions of when that person
other people. Yeah. Exactly, right? So then when that whole thing happened, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, we're back. Here we go, right? You know what I mean? Well, even before that, like even leading up to all that, I'm like, okay, sweet, you know? It got me, like, it was making me, because I wanted to watch a movie. I didn't hate the movie, but like I wanted something else to draw me back in.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, finally, at the end it did. But I had a roller coaster through this too. But like I said, and to be honest with you, at the very end of the movie, I was so confused I had to rewatch it, right? Because I still necessarily didn't understand.
Yeah, you're like, if I'm going to talk about this movie, I damn sure better be able to understand this movie. Yeah, right.
At least a little bit. You know what I mean? At least a little bit. So like that was my main goal. So I'm like, I have to figure out how I can do that. And then I finally did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I had to go back and rewatch it again. So, you know, but not rewatch, just like the ending. I think I watched like I think I put on like 15 minutes left of the actual movie and then just like rewatched all of that. I might even did 20 to be honest with you. So,
okay.
You know what I mean? I can't remember 100%, but, so yeah. So, with that being said.
What is the Rotten Tomatoes? Do you know?
The Rotten Tomatoes on this is actually pretty high. It is a 95%.
Holy crap.
I'm going to say super high. The one thing I thought was shocking, though, where did I must have
95?
A 95, but the crazy part is Google. Oh, there it is. Google people liking it is only a 71. Usually it's opposite of that. Usually it's 7. I'm not saying 71 is not decent.
No, yeah, but yeah, usually it's like 98% of people
exactly,
like this movie.
Absolutely, yeah. So that means there's people going out of their way to go dislike it.
So here we go, right? And this is you know, not in an insulting manner, but this is more of a thought-provoking movie, wouldn't you say? Especially with the ending, like you kind of have to put a little bit in. And I think that becomes a problem with just, you know, people that are used to comedies, people who are used to action movies, tentpole blockbusters. They watch something like this, they're like, they're like you. They're like I don't. Well, they're like both of us. I don't understand this, but then they're not going to do any of the work to try. You know what I mean?
Yes, to try to go back and actually try to understand from there.
Yeah. So it's
because at least I did that and got some of it back. You know what I mean? Like I felt better about it after that. You know what I'm saying? I really did.
Right.
But, yeah.
So that's kind of how like I felt. I felt the same way. Like, not that I I was. I mean, if it had ended, like if the movie had ended and there wasn't like that twist, I would have been like, okay, I'm just like not really sure. But obviously, it makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
But about halfway through, I'm like, I'm digging it. I'm cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
But like another hour, where are we gonna be? Like, what are we doing here? You know,
I'm still falling there though, you know.
10 years later, they're just still chilling in this house, you know, and doing the same thing. I'm like, I don't know,
living life, you know.
Yeah, like this is just a day in the life, you know. Like it's so funny,
for sure. I did, and you made a comment about living the life of a cowboy. So at the very beginning, I mean, this is like they're hoarding they're moving the cows from one place to another, right? So when they bring them into town, or they're going to get them in the herd, or you know, I mean, I forget I don't remember exactly what was happening there, but when they were doing that. When they were bringing them back into town, to that other town, I'm like, this is actually pretty sweet because if you actually look at it, and this is one thing I thought was sweet about it too, okay? So how they did it was that with the actual horses, well, they still do that in real life today. I'm not saying that when they move from place to place, like a herd.
Yeah.
But like the horses are literally directing these guys wherever they're going. The horses will come up on their back, so then the cows will move in. You know what I mean? Move in this way closer, so they don't get hit by the horse, right? So I'm like, this is.
And you got the
just
dog
way
in
they
the
did it.
back keeping the stragglers in line. Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
incredible.
I'm telling you, it was so sweet.
Well, see,
yeah, it's crazy.
I think that's why I felt the same way. Like it really was, how they lived. He comes up in his get up, lays down on the bed, and just goes to sleep. Because there's nothing else to do. But why get washed up when tomorrow you're going to be doing the same exact thing? And it's so funny because the brother obviously is taking care of the furnace goes out. Okay, well, let me go figure something out. Like, he's like, hey, we have this money and we have these things. Let's use them. Where the brother's like, I ain't going to use any of it. I'm tough macho man. I don't need anything, right? So it's just so funny, He's taking a bubble bath in the one scene, right? Or not a bubble bath, but he's taking a bath, and the other one's just sitting there playing the banjo or whatever in his filth. I like the way I stink. But
I'm gonna roll me a smoke.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll me a smoke. Yeah, which, man, rolling on horseback and everything, dude. That's just incredible. But just everything, everything that they were doing was just, even in the background, like you felt like they were actually there ranching. Like you didn't feel like it was just a bunch of actors pretending to put on a show. Like this was like, oh man. Benedict and Jesse Plemons just joined an actual ranch.
Absolutely.
And worked, and they filmed it for a little bit,
Yep.
I did feel real bad for Kirsten Dunst, especially in the beginning, because of how much pressure George put on her. She says she plays a little bit of piano. He buys her a grand piano and invites dinner guests over, and it's just like, man.
And literally says, yeah, no, absolutely. Well, that's yeah. So, so it was a baby grand piano, wasn't it?
Yeah, a baby grand piano. Yep.
It was a baby grand piano. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. See, if we were playing trivia, I would have got you on that one, possibly.
That's funny. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna make you go put a dress on.
It's funny because, we lost Callie. I think 2 years ago. My cat Callie, and we still put an ornament up on there for her, and. Clementine was like touching her, and we were like, "Oh yeah, that's Callie." And she's like, "I want to see Callie." So we like pulled up pictures, and I'm like, when I'm scrolling through pictures, like you when you're like standing up in the dress, I'm like, "Oh man, that's a keeper for life." You want to run for office? Check this one out. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, you'd probably win at this point.
That's true. That is very true.
I'd vote for you. I'd be like, that guy's open.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't mind,
So yeah, the movie, Benedict Cumberbatch, I think like he did it awesome in like this villainous role.
He definitely played it very well. Definitely.
Plemons, I swear, the next thing I see Plemons in, I want to see just more dialogue for him. Just because he was so soft-spoken in this one. And I was just excited to see Plemons. I love Plemons, so he could say nothing and be in the movie, and I'm like, oh, yeah, he's great. But let's see what else he can get into,
What's crazy, you think about Breaking Bad? I mean, he was not quiet in that movie.
He was not quiet in that at all. He was constantly talking. Todd was constantly talking.
And so I'm not gonna lie, that part actually kind of bothered me, man. I think more than I'm watching, not like it's just that he didn't say much at all. It was almost like
in the movie, not Breaking Bad.
In the movie, not Breaking Bad. No. Like in the movie, because I just felt like you're getting asked direct questions, and I just know me as a human being. So human being to human being contact is just something that's like. Just like and I'm just so I'm like, oh man, I don't like that part of him. Like I want him to not. Well,
it's anymore. Always a thing. Like who knows? Like who was on the spectrum back then, and like nobody would ever think like that it would even exist. And then that kind of brings up another good point of just like it's 1925. It's kind of an interesting time. Like their dialogue and their verbiage and their vocabulary is all different, and like. How do you say it? Has the alcoholic personality, like they maybe they're not to the open world of understanding like there's probably tons of alcoholics, it might be a rare thing. You go out, you're a rancher, you go out, you get smashed, or you have the occasional beer, but you're not like dependent upon. So seeing somebody who is, you know what I mean, is like kind of like a shell shocking moment or something like that, because like he was almost like struggling for the words to come up with you know what it was, what it's called, and he does that a few times, and I just like that because it's like not everybody had the same vocabulary that we do today, so you know anyways, they'd articulate.
Yes, very true.
It's definitely worth a watch, and if you're watching it and you're like, oh man, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, just wait. It's got a time bomb that goes off at the end, and you didn't know there was a clock going. You had no idea. It's awesome. I like that metaphor. There was a ticking time bomb, and you didn't even know there was a clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
So yeah, that was a great movie. 95%, man. Wow.
See, I would personally not give it a 95%.
And people are going to give Interstellar 76%.
I was waiting for like some sort of blow up. Actually,
I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait till we talked about the movie because I'm like not happy about that. I was watching some YouTube videos on the Interstellar, how they got the soundtrack going and how they made the music for it, and it's incredible, man. There's this church that has like this church, an organ that is like the size of the church. It's like this living, breathing thing. Because, you know, with an organ, you have to feed it air and do all the stuff with tubes. Absolutely. And this guy who's working it, he's working his feet. Both feet are doing independent things. His hands are doing independent things. And then he's doing he's also playing the organ. It is incredible. And then I'm like listening to the music, and I'm like, this music is incredible. Oh, my God. So then I'm like, I'm going to try to look for the soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, you got a vinyl player?
Oh yeah, I got it hooked up to the sound bar upstairs. I've got a couple of albums on there, and we listen to them every now and then. But that one would just be. It is so good, and then
I'm gonna start doing my best to
listen.
I thought you're the only weirdo, I thought, and then all of a sudden one time Jessica out of the blue, actually I think she might have said it actually on the podcast. I'm not gonna lie, said the music of the movie was stunning, and then so I'm like, maybe I am the weirdo that doesn't listen to any of it. So I thought
Jessica's probably heard me talk about it so many times that she like now she goes into a movie and she like listens for it. I mean that's good job on the person that's making the soundtrack, because they conveyed the emotion and everything, and you didn't even think twice about it. It was just a movie, and you don't think of these as separate entities, right? Where I'm listening to the music and I'm like even deeper into the movie, and I'm like, Interstellar. Ding, 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 ding. So good, dude. The organs. All right, so like watching him play and hearing like the organs like breathing out the air while it's being played, and then listening to that song and hearing it being part of the music, and I'm just like, this is the greatest soundtrack that's ever been made, ever. It's so good.
I'm gonna have to go back and just pay attention. I'm actually just gonna watch it. I'm just only gonna listen to Interstellar the entire time.
Just close your freaking eyes.
Yes, close my eyes and pitch. Yes.
It's music. It's Hans Zimmer. It's music I would go to sleep to, and have amazing adventure dreams of going into space with Cooper and and whatever.
That's awesome.
Going into a Tesseract. But anyways, so what's next? What are we watching next? Don't Look Up, because that comes out on the 24th. Got it?
Done.
So it'll be Don't Look Up.
And maybe and possibly Spidey.
Possibly Spidey. Yep. That dude right there.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I'm really excited. I've heard such good things, and I don't even care about hearing about such good things because I just love Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and I just know he'll do his best to always be his best. He's never going to phone it in. That dude might take a break from acting when he's like 40, because that dude puts his all in. You know he does. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. So this was like, I don't want to ruin anything. I'm not going to ruin anything, but there was a part where they said that Tom Holland actually cried after he actually seen the viewing and the movie put together, because when you're acting in it, you don't see you don't see any of that. So he goes, it was actually like so stunning and mind blowing. I didn't even know, because they don't get to release the entire script right away.
Well,
they get a couple things per day.
They film
or whatever.
so many alternate scenes too that you don't even know what you're leaking, because you don't know what's all right. So did they film that as part of the script? You know, that's incredible that they do so much stuff in post production too. That reading the script and acting in it is going to be totally different than seeing what they put together. That's really cool. That's really cool.
That is sweet.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so maybe Spider-Man, but definitely Don't Look Up with my boy Leo. It's the first Netflix movie with Leo. Netflix is probably doing flips on the 24th because they'll have their boy Leo in a Netflix movie.
Leo!
Yeah, they're going to be saying, Leo, don't leave.
Yeah,
Leo, make a few more.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm already with Scorsese in Killers of the Flower Moon, but I'll be back. I'll be back.
Yes.
Leo, if you're listening. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But seriously, if you're listening, keep listening. I don't know. That's all I got. I know for a fact that if I ever met him, I'd be like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Anything that comes out of my mouth is gonna be weird, because I don't know what I'm doing in front of you. I'm just like so starstruck. I'd be like, how's the weather in your neck of the woods? Do you have dogs? What are their names? Anyways, he's actually not even answering.
Yeah, he's probably like
questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you help?
Yeah, security.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, let's let these people go.
Yeah. Yes.
So Don't Look Up, maybe Spider-Man, and you all have a wonderful day. Let us know what you thought of The Power of the Dog. What is it? Hold on. What is it? It is Deliver My Soul from the Sword, My Darling, The Power of the Dog. Can you did your brain explode a little bit? I just gave you a Bible verse.
You did.
Yeah.
When you said it today, I'm like, whoa.
Why does this guy know anything about that?
Yes. Why?
I didn't say it was good. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, you did. You said it.
No.
Anyways.
But anyways, you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful holiday, although the holiday had already happened. I think we're coming up on the New Year, though.
New Year's, I'm going to say. You guys have a safe New Year this weekend coming up.
Yeah.
So have a Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.